So my parents are in town visiting, and what do you do when your parents visit? You build an outdoor kitchen. um, Rodney got a little enthusiastic yesterday and started before we could get an actual before, but
So you know what it looked like. It was a dining room table before. It's dining room turned to kitchen.
so what's the design plan here?
So design plan is to make a L-shaped outdoor kitchen-like space that's realistically going to be more used as a potting bench. But we will have 1, 2, 3, 4 cabinets from the inside, concrete countertop, and then we will have a little kind of breakfast bar area where the stools will sit underneath. We're going to install a recessed light there for lighting, and then do a cool, some sort of chandelier situation to light the top.
Hey, Dad.
Hey! Just trying to fix something I screwed up.
What?
What's the rough dimensions of the next door?
29 inches. But I need a couple of full 8-footers too, Jerry, so I think we're definitely gonna have to go grab some more.
Framing is done.
2 dogs, clamming a fry. We have cabinets.
Of course, we'd find JoJo drunk under the bar. What are you doing? Why are you hanging out there? Weird lady. So starting day 2, we cut down this metal that we had from another project. We thought it was a great reuse. Then we cut down all of the concrete board to get the concrete forms ready. And when it came time to install the grill, we realized we didn't like the one we had. So we had to reframe the entire grill area to fit this new Blackstone griddle.
All right, so for the start of day 3, we needed to finish with the concrete board install. It was mostly about securing that down so that we could get in the metal grid for the reinforcement to start pouring the concrete countertops. The other big challenge was our sink cutout. So we did have to cut the sink out of the concrete board and then get that silicone and caulked in to make sure that no concrete would leak around it and we can get that nice finish level flush installation. The other thing that we started today was going to be the cabinet doors. So there's a lot of cabinet door prep to happen. Though we only had 4 cabinets, we technically have 6 doors because we do have 2 cabinet doors underneath the new grill area. And with that, and using 3/4 inch plywood, came lots and lots of sanding. All right, so now we are to building the cabinet doors. These guys are going to be made out of the same 3/4 inch plywood that we use for the framing and the shelves on the inside. And because it's plywood, I'm a little worried about these square edges chipping and flaking away over time. So we are going to use a little kind of quarter round bit on the router just to soften them up before we sand. Hopefully prevents it from snagging.
Of course, you can't feel it, but you can see the difference. This is the sanded, and this is the raw. You can even probably hear the difference. Oop, splinter. Day 4 was an exciting and very long day of finally getting to pour the concrete countertop. My dad and I created an assembly line of mixing buckets of concrete and passing them off to Rodney to pour and screed. We had some family stop by. It's always fun to have folks check out a project as it's coming along. It sometimes can be a little bit of a distraction. We had a late night of babysitting the concrete till about 2:30 a.m., making sure that it was all forming perfectly.
We are getting ready to pour the concrete countertop. What we've got down is basically backer board that you would use for a tile. This is going to better insulate and hold moisture over the long term instead of something like a plywood that can soften and rot. What tends to happen is it stinks and then flakes away and cause cracking in the concrete. So this should be a lot more durable. We had Jake's dad help us. We used 1x4 trim basically, and then we cut a little 3/4 inch spacing so that this gap here will also be covered by the concrete countertop. And then we set these in the perfect height so that it's 1.5 inches all the way around. And then we will pour a little bit of concrete, about 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. And then we'll use the mesh to put on top of that. We'll use the concrete vibrator to make sure there's no bubbles. And then we'll fill it back up to the top. Again, use the concrete vibrator to make sure there's no bubbles. And then we'll use some 2x4s like these guys with our new dado bit from Jake's dad that we can then use to screed off the top to make sure that it's nice and level. It'll probably have to sit for about 30 minutes to an hour depending. And then we'll use our trowels to make sure that there's a nice soft rounded edge so that it can't chip and flake and it's a lot softer on your elbows when you're sitting.
So ergonomic.
You know, got a nice handle.
Yeah. Potato handle.
Also really late, which is why I'm wearing a headlamp. And we have been up for several hours babysitting this, checking it every 30 minutes for it to get to this point so that we can finally do this. And once this starts to solidify, it is good to have a water bottle to squirt down your trowel so that it doesn't stick or gather the concrete. So it kind of gouges the concrete less. I'm going in with a trowel at a slight angle. I'm not doing it perfectly flat to prevent this edge from digging and to prevent as much as I can creating this curve. But we will go in with a flat trowel, which has the word screeding tool afterwards to smooth out that edge. Some people like the picture frame. I personally do not. So I am going to smooth it out once I'm done.
Again, it was a long, late night, but we were really excited to get to see the results.
Day 5 was countertop reveal day. So one of the first things that we started with was removing the Monstera leaf mold to see what the relief looked like, and it turned out pretty good. One thing I would say if we did it again, I would do kind of a less relief or less impression into the concrete because it did cause a little bit of chipping, but nothing that we couldn't repair. And by that afternoon, we were able to take off all the molds to allow the concrete to finish curing and then start our sealing. hopefully it holds. Right?
Yep.
There's a little bit of pressure. Hasn't fallen yet.
Nice.
Ta-da!
Hi. How's it going?
We made it.
We made it.
We made it to day 6.
We're at to day 6.
So on day 6, we did finish the painting. We did finish painting all of the plywood. We are going to leave it plywood for now. In the future, we might upgrade or change that, but for right now, the paint does seal it pretty well. All of the sanding that we did helped break down the OSB so it smooths it out. And then we also took the router to all the edges, so the paint's able to really penetrate in and seal. And then we also painted the interior and exterior of all the cabinetry as well.
What was really exciting is at the end of the day, we got to make our first meal. It was sort of a celebration fiesta. We had all sorts of tacos and grilled peppers and chips and quesos, pretty much everything made right on the Blackstone griddle.
All right, so today we are finally getting to seal the concrete. We are using the Ghost Shield product. We have used this before on other concrete countertops, but today I'm going to try it with a short nap. It does recommend a 1/4-inch nap, or even a paintbrush application is okay. We've already washed, blown all the debris off, so I'm going to use the nap, and I'm going to just kind of go in V or W shapes as I put it on. You don't want this product to pool, so you do want a nice thin coat. It's better to do 2 coats than letting it pool or be too thick, because that can cause failure. It won't adhere right. So we'll see how this goes. So this is going to seal our concrete countertop. Right now there's nothing on it, so meaning any oils and grease and dirt and such can stain it. So this will seal the concrete. It's also going to give it a much darker appearance, so that it's something to be aware of when you go do any sort of concrete sealing. And hopefully this gives us a little bit of a wet look to the concrete also. It'll also be a lot easier to clean in the long run.
We also want to give a huge shout out to my mom and dad for helping us with this project.
While they were in town, they gifted us with a few, well, quite a bit of accessories. One in particular, though, is the Blackstone grill that they got for us. It really made the project come together, and like we said earlier, the first grill we had, we weren't in love with. So it really brought the project all together. So, thank you guys.
Thank you. God damn it, it's hot.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna cool down from here, though. Did I mention we're hiring? I fired Jake again. We also want to give a shout out and a special thank you to Jake's parents.
They gifted.
Want to change? Do you want to?
No. But that's gonna be a minute.
Oh, my phone's gonna overheat by the end of this.
Thanks.
We're done?
Yeah, we're done. It's too fucking hot. Sorry, Mom, I said the F word.
Done.
Is that the ending?
Yeah.
Okay.